Hey guys, it's David here from Facepalm Tactical with your pro tip. We're going to talk about threading aluminum products that you can get from Facepalm Tactical. We've got an aluminum adapter right here that we're going to talk about later on in the video, and you can see it's threaded with a male thread, and then we've got the other side here on this flash hider. This flash hider is made of pot metal or something else. It's not aluminum. And then I've also got one of our suppressors here, pre-production thing before powder coating everything. It's just been sandblasted. In your package from Facepalm Tactical, we're not going to send you a whole roll. We're going to send you a couple of strips of this Teflon tape, and what you're going to do with it is you're going to wrap it on your threads in the direction that you thread it. So if it's a counterclockwise thread, you're going to wrap the tape, you're going to spread it out on the threads, wrap it counterclockwise, and that's so that when you turn it in, it actually tightens the Teflon tape on the threads instead of unrolling it. That'll allow you to thread smoothly into just about anything. The reason we're doing this is not because our threads are rough and it needs it or anything, but it's because with aluminum does something that's called galling. And you'll get it happen when you have heat generated between like two pieces of aluminum. It usually won't happen with something else, but if you're putting one of our suppressors onto something that is aluminum or anything like that, you might have trouble with it because aluminum will gall, and what it is it basically, if it gets any heat or real extreme pressure on it because you might have started cross-threaded or something, it's almost like it gums up and it'll block the way, and it basically jams itself. So this Teflon tape will create a little bit of a barrier, and it'll prevent that from ever happening to you. Thanks. Hey everybody, it's David from Facepalm Tactical, and I'm here to do a promo video like you've seen Caleb doing on our channel, except today we're going to talk about this little guy. It's our 16mm clockwise to 14mm counterclockwise adapter. I've got a couple of them here in a few different styles. We've got some good ones, we've got some bad ones, and we're going to talk about that. This one has flat sides on it so that you could use a wrench on it. We're actually probably not going to produce very many of these. Reason being is...
Hey! David was supposed to give me a funny introduction, but he forgot, so I'm just going to say right now that I'm Noah with Facepalm Tactical, and I'm right here.
Alright, yeah, this review is going to be twice as good as Caleb's. That's what I was supposed to say. But anyways, we've got the flat sides here on this one, and I think we're going to pretty much decide against doing this. I don't think it looks as good, and with this aluminum, it's strong enough, it's hard enough, but if you get somebody who cross-threads something, they start cranking on it with a wrench, you just start tearing stuff up. And I think the ideal tool to work on these with would be one of those strap wrenches. You can pick one up at your hardware store or whatever. It provides friction without messing up the surface. Now, talking about the surface, these have all been sandblasted right now. That's the finish that they have. You can see that it gives them a nice, not really shiny, but silver. They almost look like they've been painted silver, but this is just completely bare aluminum. It's prepped for paint. When you get them, this is the way they'll come. We didn't want to spend the money on powder coating these because we can keep them cheaper to you, and then you can paint them whatever color you want. They shouldn't get too much damage on them, and they're really easy to repaint if that becomes an issue. Also, I think they just look really good sandblasted like that. So what do you think, Noah?
Alright, so I don't really have any use for this because I don't use a pistol and I don't put a suppressor on anything.
And hopefully you're not putting a flash hider in your pistol, but I'm just showing that this thread's good.
Yeah, but the thing is, this is handmade, so with a factory-made product, you could possibly get a lemon due to insufficient testing, but with these, you've got, like, he already knows that this one is bad because he actually took this thing, threaded it onto the end of the pistol, and then put a suppressor on it and went, oh, that's crooked, so he threw that one out.
It was a little bit off-center.
Yeah, so he knows if he's made a bad product because everything is handmade and hand-tested, so that makes sure that you're not going to get anything bad sent to you. Everything you're going to receive is going to be top quality because all the lemons are weeded out through testing.
Thanks for that, Noah. You can see the wobble here when I thread this. It's just a little bit, but it's enough that it wouldn't be straight and it wouldn't be right, so we're going to throw that one out. And then stuff like, I had trouble with this one galling on the very end because this threaded portion used to be about twice as long, and I had trouble with it galling, and I had to put a pipe wrench on it to get it off. So I ended up cutting back farther on this one, cleaning up the threads, making sure they were nice, and then I just went ahead and filed down the sides to give it this flatness because I wanted to try that out. We may sell this one for half price. I may just hang on to it, but it'll all show up in our eBay store, and you'll be able to see what we're offering. You want to pull the pistols out now real quick so we can show them threading onto. I've got my KP45 Tactical right here, and then another off-brand pistol. I'm going to take this one, thread it on. He's going to work on that one. So the 16 millimeter on this is going to be clockwise thread. I'm capable of threading clockwise. I've been threading counterclockwise too much. So that threads on smoothly. He's going to thread the suppressor on that one. And I'm going to go ahead and, no matter how stupid it looks, I'm just going to show you all this will thread on nicely.
And then boom, look at this thing. Started off as a normal pistol, and now you're Leonardo DiCaprio from Inception. I can protect your mind from the best extractor, because I am the best extractor.
Alright, I think that looks too long, or too thick, I don't know. We had some trouble with the KWA because it has a polymer barrel. When I put the adapter on it, combined with the length of this 6-inch one, and then the weight of just, because these are solid aluminum, I mean you can run over these with your car, and or truck, or whatever you drive, and they won't even bend, it'll just mess the surface up a little. But just with all that extension out, the non-blowback fired fine because the barrel wasn't moving, but in this KWA the barrel moves a little, and what was happening was when it would rack back as it was firing, the barrel would move back with it, and then it would set down, it would pull, the weight would pull the barrel down, and then when it went back forward, I'm going to release it here, it would get stuck about right here, just from the weight. You can see it kind of gets set in there pretty good. And that's what was keeping it. It would shoot about 8 shots fine because just on that topped off gas it would hit really hard back, which it would switch directions, it would hit really hard forward, but once the gas got a little bit lower it had trouble with sliding. I'm not sure if that's because my gun's pretty worn because I've used it a ton, or if it's just with this polymer barrel and then the weight. I would probably recommend, if you're going to buy one of ours and plan on putting it on your pistol that 16mm threads, shoot us a message on Facebook, on the eBay store, however you want to contact us, and we can just go ahead and thread this to 16mm clockwise. Or if you just want to buy one 14mm with the adapter so that you can use it on 2 different guns, on your pistol and on your rifle or whatever else, I'd recommend getting either a 4-inch, I think that should do fine, or I would talk with us and we can actually put a set of holes, you'll see some pictures on our Facebook, but around the end of the barrel here in this extension, we can drill holes down into the body of it, and it'll reduce the weight, and we should be able to get one light enough that it shouldn't affect any pistols. Or, I hate to say this, but you may be best off if your pistol is like mine, where that barrel does sag down and move with it a little, and it is polymer like that. I really don't want to put anything that's heavy on here because I'm afraid of this polymer. So if I put one on here, I'm probably just going to buy one of the cheap little Chinese plastic ones that looks good. I may paint it to make it look better, but using one of these adapters, and that'll just keep my weight down and protect my pistol, because this is way more of an investment than putting a suppressor on it. Alright, I think that's everything we got for y'all.
He's David, and I'm Noah, and this has been the review of the, what are the measurements on this again?
The 16mm clockwise by 14mm counterclockwise adapter.
Yeah, so if you want to go full James Bond, you're going to want to get you one of these for your pistol.